God knows everything, you guys. God knows everything. That's why I know that I'm doing the right thing with this channel. Because I'm essentially exposing myself. And not with the intention of being raunchy or indecent. And I'm sure that I could very easily get accused of that for obvious reasons. But, you know, I think that it would do the world a lot of good to have people in it that are not afraid of what the world thinks of them. And we have too many people in this world that only care about their self-image. And the reason why they care about that is because they don't have much of a personality. And without a personality, your character and your integrity are going to lack. Okay? That's why so many people are very narcissistic, because they don't really know anything that they believe in. So they get really upset if you don't believe it or if you don't agree with it. And this was a problem long before political correctness, okay? How many parents get mad at their kids because they don't want to get married? Oh, my mom recently tried to shame me for that. Because, like, my dad brought out these old pictures that his sister sent to him in the mail from, like, the 50s. And I was just looking at these photos, and I was like, that's so interesting that, you know, like, my dad and I both still have flip phones. And yet we're both looking at pictures, you know? And it's like, this really is just a thing. You know, people look at pictures and they live through those pictures. And I know that there is a healthy element to that, but I think that it's actually way more detrimental. Just looking at these old ass photographs, like black and white, mind you, they just made me so sad. When I look at pictures, they just make me so sad. I just want to kill myself. And I don't know, maybe that's why I have such an aversion to social media. But, you know, my colleague John Hickok, he pointed out the fact that I'm always filming my comedy sets. There's one comedy set, he talks about that specifically. It's from 2021. So if you're a true Amy Gross fan, if you're an Amy Gross super fan, then you'll probably know exactly what comedy set I'm talking about, but, because I don't. I just know what summer it's from. But, yeah, he was like, don't you film everything? Well, the reason I film everything, John, I know you're not here either. The reason I film everything is because of what I was just saying, that there needs to be proof that people like me exist. I wish that it wasn't this way, but it is. And so I have to somewhat succumb to the world that I live in now. And I know that I'm a coward if I don't. I'm a coward if I just run away from it. And there are plenty of people on the internet that have benefited from the things that I've said. And even if they eventually leave the channel because I say something that hits a nerve, that's fine, because they got out of it what they could get out of it. And the people that don't get anything out of it will leave pretty much immediately. Maybe they'll talk some shit on their way out. Maybe they'll continue to talk shit to me without even watching my videos. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I continue to do it because of that tiny ass sliver of the population that will get something out of it. And, you know, of course it's good for me too. Of course it's good for me to express myself. And, you know, I do watch all these videos and I comment on them. So, I just think it's really important. Motherfucker. You're not gonna be able to go, baby. You probably should just wait till the light turns green. See, there's somebody behind me. If there wasn't somebody behind me, I wouldn't give a fuck. But I'm being judged right now. I'm being judged for my driving abilities or lack thereof. Okay. If I can go. I think I can go. Yep. The light is green. Yeah, but I totally lost my train of thought. That happens all the time, does it not? And you're talking about the channel, why you do the channel. Yeah, it's really, really important. I know that it's important, that's why I do it. And you know, once I get back into it, it's not an issue at all. I just hate getting back into it. And then I'm bombarded by all this like algorithm crap and end of the world, psychology, more end of the world, stuff about narcissism. You know, I mentioned this in a video yesterday that, you know, I think it's very troublesome, like how many Christians keep thinking that Jesus is coming back. I mean, I don't want to disappoint them, but I'm pretty sure, just considering how often this has happened, the same stories keep recirculating, the same numbers keep recirculating, the same phrases, the same slogans keep recirculating. There's a reason for this, okay? I don't think there is anything like time. Like, I mean, we have this concept of it, but I don't think that it's accurate at all. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Because I'm sure that you guys know about the Nelson effect. I'm calling it that because I don't know if that other word is censored and they're gonna ban the video for it, or they're gonna delete it because I say that word. But the Nelson effect, where enough people think something and that something suddenly becomes true. If that's the case with, you know, just some random thing that occurs, you know, at a restaurant. I've seen that happen at a restaurant where people twist certain details of that event and that event becomes completely different. If that can happen, you know, in just a regular setting like this, why wouldn't it happen on a universal scale in regards to political events that are controlled by the media? I mean, that's not hard to understand, like, why that would be a thing. But, you know, people that don't believe that, you know, they think we're all just a bunch of bozos, right? I mean, maybe we are.
I mean, I know that I'm definitely a bozo. I mean, there have been enough people that have sent me clown emojis that's true. So, yeah, I think that we have this total misconception of reality. And, you know, the way that we remember things is probably a bit flawed if our memory has anything to do with the rest of the world. If our memory has anything to do with the television or the radio or the newspapers, but now the internet. The internet is one hell of a psyop, okay? It's probably the best gaslighting experiment I've ever seen. But, you know, you got all these people, especially the red pill people, that want to be like, oh, but I discovered the truth. I figured out how the world really is because of the internet. And yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. You should get down on your knees and you should thank God for the fact that you were able to use the internet in the right way. Seriously, get down on your knees right now, thank God. Because there are plenty of people that just use the internet to self-destruct, okay? But I mean, I've self-destructed on the internet. Not just on this channel, mind you, but, you know, I've looked up a lot of bad things that have given me panic attacks, and, you know, if I am insanely good at doing, you know, research on various topics, and especially myself, then, you know, at some point, there's probably going to be some that I look up that isn't going to be good for me, and it's going to fuck with my head. Because anybody that has that obsessive nature, like, I can really, really focus on things that I care about. You know, like if I'm reading an article in some scientific journal, or my favorite website of all time is basically like a psychological assessment website. And so often the stuff that I look up will direct me to that site. It's the Center for like biotechnical information or something. It's got a long name. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I have discovered on the internet that's really helped me in my spiritual journey and all that. So that's what kills me about it. It's just like with drugs, you know? You can take a drug and it can do amazing things for you. Or you can take it and it does absolutely nothing for you. And you keep taking it. You know? And it's like the same things you see with the internet. It's like there's so many incredible things that you can do, and ways that you can express yourself, and ways that you can communicate that we couldn't do, like, you know, 20 fucking years ago. But what are people doing with that amazing piece of technology? They're scrolling. Like, that's all they're doing. They're scrolling, and they're like turning their brain into a slot machine. Okay? So, if I seem judgmental, that's why.